What is up? Welcome back. It's Sunday night, and you're here with the Average Boys podcast, and it's here that we are here with our boy Triggs. Triggs, what is up, my dude?
What's going on, dude?
How you doing, man? How you doing? Long time.
Good, man. Yeah, man. Was it earlier this week? I was actually back on the 956 ABV podcast. They're a podcast that like check out like local breweries and distilleries and bars and stuff like that. They do a lot of good stuff. A lot of great conversations, man. Ask me about the art and about the science of bartending, my career. Did a really bigger deep dive this time around. And I mean, it was a good conversation, man. I even had to make some mocktails, man. I had one guy who was actually sober, on the show. So like I made some mocktails for him, and that was a little bit different. I haven't had to make a mocktail in fucking years.
Was it weird?
It's not that it was weird, man. It's just that like for me it was a little bit challenging because like a lot of the shit in my bar is alcoholic. So like I'm like, fuck, dude, like what do I put in here that has no alcohol in it? And like I'm thinking, I'm racking my brain, I'm starting to like look up recipes and stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, well now I found something, now it's better. Currently in the process of moving, right? Fucking alert the media when it comes to me moving. Yeah, moving again. Nah, dude, this place was always temporary. Like we were waiting for the spot that we're going to open up to finish being built. And that's the like now that it's finished, like we can finally leave. So like literally right in the middle of packing right now. I've got the rest of my kitchen to do, my office, Audrey's office, and then like the bedroom. And
well, it seems like man, you guys are on the up and up, huh?
Yeah, dude, she just graduated, officially graduated on Friday. She's now officially a graduated RN, registered nurse. Audrey Vetta's RN, and yeah, dude, it was really cool. Got to see the family and stuff. I haven't seen them in a minute. For those who do not know, I have actually left the Still Tap. Yesterday was my very, very last day. It was a very, very somber moment for me. I've helped shape that bar. I've given a lot to that bar, sacrificed a lot for that bar. I leave that bar in the best of terms, in the best of hands. But right now, the lady needs me at home. We got 6 doggos, and yeah, dude, a lot of fucking dogs, and it's so nice to be in a spot, to be in a position right now where I can help her a little bit better. I still got some stuff in the pipeline for myself, as far as like job wise, school wise. So I'm still gonna try and make money. Gonna revamp the stream setup a little bit. Gonna unfuck a few things. Yeah, I'm using a different mic. My old World of Warcraft Blue Yeti. Blue's never really let me down, but the baby bottle has seen the end of its days already.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I mean, it's been through the ringer, but I mean, it's done its job. It's done its job.
It's been with me through multiple moves already, and hey, you know what? It did its job. It did it to the best of its ability. I can't fucking ask for anything more. It was a good mic to me, and I'm super happy about that. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for me, my guy.
What about in the nerd culture, man? What have you been doing? What have you been playing? What have you been running?
So you know how there's a lot of Sony exclusives coming out to PC and stuff like that. Like Forbidden West finally came out. The Last of Us is also out on PC. Miles Morales also dropped on PC and stuff like that. So I got the first Spider-Man game. I literally just beat it the other day. I'm about to start Miles Morales, and then I'm going to wait for Spider-Man 2, play that. I'm so glad that I finished Ghost of Tsushima because Ghost of Yote was just announced and stuff like that. So like that's gonna be super cool. I think I actually have Valhalla also on my stream. Sorry, on my Steam.
Mhm.
So I might play that. But to be honest, I haven't really given a fuck about anything Assassin's Creed related.
Ubisoft in general, dude, they're just fucking up all over the place, dude.
Like Ubisoft made The Division, and I fucking love that game. So
Yeah, that was like fucking 8-9 years ago, man.
The Division 2, even the Division 2 is still pretty fucking good.
But more than likely, that company's gone and let go of 80% of the people that worked on that game and hired a bunch of new fucks, dude. Because like now,
but
the game is
everyone did that though. Like literally, I just watched a video on the current state of gaming, and like it was so funny because like this person basically deep dived into the current state of gaming and like why it is the way that it is, and it's basically because of COVID.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty much because of COVID.
That's one part, right? Because there's also been like the Sweet Baby Inc. thing that's been going on for a bit, where like a group of people were able to create enough gravity in their brand to get people to like let them take over in certain aspects who really just had no experience in that, like the video game community, right?
It's not that they didn't have experience in that video game community. It's just that a lot of these whatchamacallit, some of these like studios, what they're doing is they're having studios that have like zero fucking experience in that kind of space making games.
Yeah. That's what I mean. These people, they don't understand the audience. They don't understand the consumers that have been in this system for years. And like, yeah, there's a lot of like debauchery in the system when it comes to like the gaming. I mean, people, if you weren't there for Black Ops 2 multiplayer, like you'll never know. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of debauchery, and that's the way it's always been.
Yeah, you couldn't call someone an F word, or say that you fucked their mom, without being banned. Just
the person you were calling. It's other than that, it's their mom or their aunts, their uncles, their dead grandparents. Like nobody is like off the chain for online bullshit.
Yeah, dude, nobody was safe. Nobody was safe.
But like that's the thing, right? Like you really have to understand the consumer and the community to be out there.
Yeah, man, and I get it, dude. It's still one of those things where like
he's like, that shit.
I don't give a fuck, bro. I'll get banned. And but yeah, dude, like it that was actually another thing that I spoke about on the podcast. Because I was just like, dude, bartending is different now. And gaming is different now. The scene is different now. The gaming spaces, is different now. The bar scene is different now. My career is different. Like you have to look at things peacefully or whatever the fuck, you have to look at things. Yeah. Maybe I'm not the target audience. I don't know.
Dude, isn't that the greatest excuse for everything?
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Maybe I'm not the target audience.
Yeah, I think
it's like the biggest cop out for everything that we could use, dude.
Dude, I've been using that all the time and it works. It lets me not look like an old jaded person, dude. Most of the time, you know what I mean?
Maybe I'm just not the target audience. You know what, Chris? Yeah, blah blah blah. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. But then, it'll turn a mean conversation very peaceful.
Yeah, it's an easy cop out and shit. Yeah, it's really weird though, and the reason why I say it is because like I really think that the idea of like review and critiquing and all this stuff has become such a norm that like nowadays, just like us, that's why we're even titled this in the podcast, The Average Boys, is because like we don't really have like a stake in the game. And I remember a conversation that we all had during She-Hulk, right? And when She-Hulk first dropped the trailer, I remember all of us were like, dude, that looked like ass. Like, man, the graphic CG and all that shit looked like ass. And I tried to like, I guess, save face and say, well, you know what? Like, it's got to be hard, dude, to be a CG person. Like, it's got to be hard to do that job. And here we are never putting our pins to the tablets or getting into like Premiere and Photoshop and making.
Dude, but not just that, but you know, come to realize like 8 months later, you know, a year later, shit, right? You know, you find out that they're overworking them, treating them like shit. You know, we had 2 strikes back to back that lasted longer than any other strike in history. Yeah. You know, in that particular realm. Yeah. And you know what? And some of them were I mean, a lot of them were primarily behind working conditions. Yeah. So now we understand why like She-Hulk looked like shit. It wasn't shit, you know, like, you know, there were some major lacking things in She-Hulk, but that's not the fucking CG artist's fault.
But you know what? Like, this is exactly what the Marvel comic book landscape looks like too. If you really break it down for what it's worth, like from the beginning of when Marvel was making movies to what we have now, it's literally what the comic books look like. Some comic books are just ass. Like some comic books, you'll just look at it and be like, nope, I ain't reading that shit. That's stupid. And that was like, you know, She-Hulk and like all of these other ones that they're just like mediocre stories. Even right now, the Agatha story where it's like a bunch of like middle-aged to like older-aged women that are drinking wine and just doing like, I don't know, witchcraft stuff or whatever. The target audience is probably not us, but like, and I'm going to say like, it's probably not. But like there's an audience somewhere for it. You know what I mean? That's like Moon Knight when it first came out in the comics. Like no one gave a fuck about Moon Knight. You know what I mean? A lot of people like didn't really care. It's like The Question, right? Like or like another like obscure character that it's not mainstream. No one really reads it, but there's a fucking handful of people that are super diehard about that character that they're like, oh no, it's the best thing. You're just missing out. And I kind of feel like that's what the cinematic universe is like when people tell me like, oh, Miss Marvel. Nah, bro, you didn't get it. That's just what it was. You just didn't get it. I guess. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, I guess.
I don't know. I've been reading comic books for like 25 years, dude. 25
years, dude. Like, I kind of get some shit. You know what I mean? Give me some credit, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, like speaking about this, I do want to get into parts of the conversation we are going to be having, right? And that goes with the current state of the Marvel universe and the DC universe and everybody that's comic book, you know, that shit. Everybody's going into the television realm. They got like Agatha, you know, like I said, they had what was the last Alkalite. Everybody's got some type of series and all this other stuff. Well, it looks like DC finally jumped into the game, and now we have a series for HBO, the Penguin series. Now, I haven't seen it. Based off of the Batman movie, Matt Reeves' story with Robert Pattinson, but you've been able to watch it a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Briggs, I got to hear it from the horse's mouth. What did you think of the Penguin series so far? I know it's like 1 episode in. Give us a breakdown, dude.
So, this picks up like literally, I want to say 3 weeks after the end of the Batman movie, right?
After the flooding and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I had actually watched the Batman movie like right before I saw the Penguin, right? So I wanted to be fresh. And because like I was told that like, yeah, it picks up really like right after, yeah. Right? And you find out that Riddler did that for literally 0 reason. Like the reason that he did that
was just to fuck it all.
Yeah, no, it completely backfired. Really? All the rich people, they're in gated communities. So their flooding didn't even reach them. It literally only flooded the poor people. Yeah, it literally only flooded the poor people.
Welcome to Gotham, motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And Robert Pattinson had like, or the Batman plays like 0 role in like Penguin as of right now. Okay. But if you've ever seen like 24 or The Shield or The Sopranos, okay, it's a huge crime drama. Like it's super fucking good, dude.
I can see that working for it. For it.
You know, the Penguin, like, and they also changed his name. Like his name is not Oswald Cobblepot. It's Oswald Cobb.
Okay. So it's like a breakdown of his name, but he's kind of going with something else.
Yeah, and
Okay.
like they show you like why he has a limp. You know, he has like this degenerative bone disease like in his foot, and like his foot is curled in, so he has like wears this brace, and that's why he like waddles.
Hobbles and stuff.
Yeah. It's not because like he's just shaped funny. It's because like like he's got a bone deformity.
Okay.
And dude, it's just him and his machinations, man. Like against the Falcone family.
Well, that's good shit. I mean, the Falcone family in the movie, the Batman, they had a large presence. The whole mob vibe and all that stuff was pretty prominent.
Yeah, dude, it was very mob like, because you have, oh my god, man, they mentioned another fucking character, and he's also super prominent in the Batman like verse. And
not Falcone, but Maroni or something.
yes, the Maroni family.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's always the other family that's fighting for the
for like the criminal underworld, yeah. Well, essentially, that's what's going to happen. Like he's trying to pit those two families against each other.
Let me see, Maroni. Yeah, the Maroni Salvatore.
Yeah.
Salvatore Maroni.
So Salvatore.
Like, what is the other crime boss name? Because it was always Falcone and the Maroni, and it was always okay. So what he's doing is there a third like family, or is it just the Falcones and the Salvatore?
Yeah. It's just the Maronis and the Falcones.
And he's waiting to pick up the scraps after they fuck each other up, or what?
No. So like what he's doing is like, because I don't want to spoil anything, right?
Okay.
But he does something, and that's when I think her name's Christy or Christina. I think it's Christy Milioti. She's the girl who played the mother in How I Met Your Mother. Okay. She's the daughter of the Falcone family. And she's fucking crazy.
So was Selena Kyle. She was like the bastard child or whatever.
Yeah, but it was retcon, right?
But far and what most or whatever.
Yeah, but for her, she actually like is like now currently running the family.
Okay,
and they're trying to like move like business wise into like new drug ventures, and like something happens and the Penguin is very, very much involved, and because of that, like he's going to essentially move the Maronis in, like he's moving the Maroni family in the path of the Falcone family and like getting out of the way for it.
Okay. That's pretty dope.
And he picks up this like little black kid, like as his like lackey, his like number two. And weirdly enough, that like supposedly reports are is that kid actually wants to play the live action Miles Morales. I could see it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me check him out. I'll check him out. And what else? Like, I mean, it's only one episode. How long are the episodes?
This first one I think was like a little over an hour.
Okay. Oh, this kid. Okay, I know who you're talking about. Well, this kid was in the Runaways.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, he was in the Runaways.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's pretty dope. The Runaways is such like a unspoken story. It was so good at the time.
Yeah, it's like the Young Avengers.
Yeah, if you had the chance, if you guys didn't watch the Runaways, I think it's totally damn worth it. It was such a fun show. So, but yeah, so how are you feeling it? What's up? What's up, Denny? How are you feeling with like the show overall? Like, I mean, because the DC Universe,
dude, it's got a good foothold. I think this has so much potential because Colin Farrell fucking
he's still killing it, right?
Kills it.
Yeah, man.
As the Penguin.
So are you feeling the vibes of like the comic book series when it comes to the Penguin and stuff like that? Are you feeling that off of this character?
In the sense that he's a crime lord, or it has the makings of a crime lord.
Okay. So that whole vibe of like the kingdoms is coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how do you feel for this coming up for like for the positivity of the next Batman movie coming?
I would love to see more Penguin in the next movie, because he's gonna have to deal with those crime families. You know, like they're making some big fucking waves, and they are doing some shit that will affect Gotham in a very negative space, like outside of like the Riddler and stuff like that. Because we've already gotten the Joker, right? You know, and so the Joker's already there, and like it's one of those things where uh uh it's one of those things where like there's already there's a small little rogues gallery that's already been introduced. You know, do you play with what you have, or do you build on top of that? You know.
Okay. I like that. So the show right now is showing. It started September 19th, right? It's talking about doing 8 episodes, and yeah. Do you recommend it? You feel like it's given some very positive vibes for the whole structure of the story and stuff?
Solid 9 out of 10. Would recommend.
Sophia Falcone, Victor Aguilar, Dr. Julian Rush. While Theo Rossi's in it. That's the dude from Luke Cage show. The little skinny guy that was like the little gangster dude. Yeah. Theo Voss. That's cool. Theo Rossi's in it. That's dope.
I think he like produces. I don't think he's in it.
Really? It says 6 episodes. Yeah, man, that's pretty dope. The cast looks phenomenal, man. The cast looks phenomenal. Excellent. Well, I'm losing out by not watching this show, man. I gotta get.
Dude, honestly, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking but it's also super funny because
do you feel like it's following the same structure as the Batman movie, or is it kind of deviating a little bit, kind of making it a little bit more into the fantasy realm of being a comic book story?
Not at all. And they're like, I say that this is just as grounded as Christopher Nolan's Batman series.
Okay, so it's more like it's more of a grounded series, more down to earth.
Yeah, because all you're seeing is just street level stuff right now. You know, so there's no like Dr. Freeze where you have someone in a fucking metal suit. You know.
Bro, Freeze would be like I think Matt Reeves would knock it out of the fucking park with a Freeze story, dude.
Honestly, I would love to see Bane instead.
You think so? I mean, I always feel like Bane is like he has to be a fun character. Like Bane does very well for me, like in that old George Clooney kind of weird, kind of funny, like, you know what I mean? But
his comic book presence is always so serious.
Yeah. I mean, the Christopher Nolan version of Bane was great. It was fantastic, man. Tom Hardy knocked it out of the park, and the way he was written and the way he was directed to do the character, like it was solid.
Dude, that choreography in that fight scene was fucking fantastic. For being so simple, it was just like a slugfest, but it was like a great choreographed slugfest.
And that's the thing with like the Christopher Nolan series is like, you look at every movie, you go to the first one, you remember like Batman using the vehicle to like blow up a bunch of cars, like driving down the street kind of thing. Yeah. You remember in the second film, you had Heath Ledger blow up the high school and get in the bus, like, and then in the last movie, you had the whole like the actual combat fighting against Bane, like on the City Hall steps or Wall Street steps of Gotham City and doing like crazy shit, right? But like Robert Pattinson, Matt Reeves' story was more gothic. It was more.
It was darker.
Yeah, like very noir.
Exactly. Very noir, but also very gritty, right? Yeah, like,
there's something about it.
You know, like you see Bruce Wayne very gritty. And even like when he's not, you know, even when he is Bruce Wayne, he's still very scruff, you know, because like at that point in time, he's probably only like 25, you know, max.
Because it was like year one, right?
Yeah, this is, I mean, it is essentially a year one story for everybody. This is basically Gotham as a movie, you know, for everyone that's fucking listening, right? But it's one of those that like you kind of look at this and you're like, especially if you've never read any of Batman's year one issues, or never really knew any of Batman's like early history, like
comics,
his detective comics. You're never like this is exactly how he was. He was very brutal. Like this dude snapped bones like fucking pretzels, dude. Like he could give a fuck. Oh man, like drug bust, cool. Snap, all right. Where's the drug bust gonna happen? 2 blocks from here. Snap, okay, bye.
Yeah, he had that like no kill law, but he wasn't about to not let someone go into the infirmary. To at least touch the lips of death. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Like, beat your ass for fucking smoking a Jeezy outside.
Yeah, he's like, oh, dude, you're smoking a J outside of the Circle K. It looks like you're gonna need some fucking lifelong broken bones or some broken system of paraplegia.
All right, dude. Bet. Yep. All right, dude. Bet. Let me help you out with that real quick, homeboy.
Yeah, you'll never walk right. Yeah, the reason why I ask is because like when it comes to the Matt Reeves series, like I noticed that a lot of like the big action sequences were very like fantastical, like it was very like out of this world, kind of like that didn't make sense, but I guess because it's a comic book movie, you know what I mean? Like there's like the part where like he's walking down the hallway and people are shooting him with like a machine gun and he's just like just juking and jiving and moving away from bullets and shit. And then there's like the scene where
not even dude, like if you actually rewatch that movie, he's like tanking all of them. Like his suit is like,
but that's like completely, bro. Like that's not real life. Like there's the scene when like the dude does the wrong fucking thing and it explodes in the fucking church or whatever. And he's like, he is like licking the bong practically, and he leaves and he's got like no facial scars. Like there's no way, dude. Like his eyes and his mouth that aren't covered with them. I'm giving the mask at least some benefit of the doubt that it's got some ballistics behind it, but like all the openings he's toast, dude. Like he's gonna look like he's got the worst sunburn on his face ever, you know what I mean? And he just tanks that shit. Like you know what I mean? Like he tanks everything. Even the shotgun blasts from the dudes on the fucking catwalk that he's fighting with the Riddler wannabes or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And then even the fucking scene when he like just takes a shot of Red Bull and he just beats the fuck out of that one guy. And
dude, everyone still thinks that like Bane can make an appearance because of what he took.
Yeah. That, like, I 100% agree.
Like that like everyone's like, dude, that's Bane venom. Like that is Bane venom. That like that's how they're gonna like introduce Bane.
And
like
it's fucking smart. I think it's super fucking intelligent, dude.
Yeah.
But like it didn't make any sense.
That's some Jonathan Hickman writing right there. Like the small little detail.
A little bit of sprinkle.
Yeah. And
he's gonna run screen shit real quick. And all of a sudden he just fucking banks out and beats the shit out of some dude. And I like that he like literally beats the shit out of him. Like this guy's gonna, dude, and even woman's like, hey, yo, chill. Yeah. I like that he just has like little bruises on his face and shit. I'm like, this guy punch him with like fucking 20-ounce boxing gloves or what? Yeah, why isn't this guy just mangled, dude? Like, why doesn't he look like a fucking, I don't know, Ghost in the Shell movie or whatever? Like, it just, I always thought that was real funny to me, dude. But it was like PG-13, wasn't it? The Matt Reeves?
No, I think it was R.
Was it really? Because that guy was not beaten up at all, dude. I don't know. Well, you just saw the film the other day.
Yeah, no. Like he got fucked up, dude. Like you see him like
up.
No, like he had like his eye was kind of swollen. Okay, you know,
right. Because he punched him a lot, dude.
No, dude. You know who I really want? Like the guy who never should have. Yeah, that guy should have never gotten up.
Yeah. Yeah. He just tanked his ass, dude. Yeah.
Like, you're gonna tell me you're gonna pop my fucking shoulder out of the socket and then fucking slam my head into the ground and then hit me fucking 4 times?
8 times.
full force, and I'm gonna get up, pop my shoulder back, and shoot at you.
Enough that he made a random kid quit that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of that guy so bad.
Dude, that kid got so scared he became Robin in another show, dude.
That's how bad that beating was. The guy just walked that shit off.
He was like, fuck this. I'll be Robin somewhere else. Yeah. Fuck this.
But you see what I mean by fantastical, right? Like those things are so like fantastical that they're almost comical in a way. But we don't talk about that for the Christopher Nolan series because that was like serious, like ass whoopings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but even then, that's like Arkham series, like ass whoopings, like a lot of like Krav, and then like boom, like quick takedowns, boom. The threat is neutralized, right? That's how I saw that particular because like even in the penthouse scene, with Heath Ledger, he like disarms this dude, boom, smacks him with the fucking shotgun, dude's out, disassembles the shotgun while walking, and like you're kind of just like, all right, boom, that's a Batman move, right? It's just like, boom, disarm, snap, disarm it, like take it apart, keep walking, fucking another day on like.
Holy fuck, dude. You know what's so amazing? Like, look, like comparing the dichotomy of Christopher Nolan's Batman to Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves.
No, Matt Reeves, right? Yeah. The sexiness and suave confidence of Christian Bale's Batman compared to the nervous, like non-confident emo version of Robert Pattinson's.
Oh, it's very prominent.
And the difference between like the year one, the very not boots on the ground, very green, compared to like, Christian Bale. As a matter of fact, like, do you remember, you just called it right now, the scene in the penthouse when the Joker comes in and bums out Bruce Wayne's party. Bruce Wayne, when he realizes it's in like an ambush or like something, he's just walking, man.
Yeah, he's just like
chilling. He's just confident.
I'm gonna be right back. Yeah, I'm gonna be right back, everybody. You stay here.
Yeah, and there's that scene where like he goes into the bedroom and he just fucked that dude up and he's taking the gun apart. Remember the shotgun you're talking about? And there's that dude with the girl and he's like, Bruce,
do you have a safe room? Yep, not for you.
yeah. He goes into the darkness with his finger out and shit.
Yep, not the target audience.
I remember that was such a funny scene because I think the girl was like, was that a safe room? Like, and they were just baffled because they didn't know what was going on. But like the suaveness is what's so important to that series and the seriousness of how they ran that compared to the Robert Pattinson. That's what I'm talking about. Like in the Penguin show, like, does it feel still like the Robert Pattinson, or does it feel like it's more like the Nolan, the Christopher Nolan? Because that's a big thing, man.
Yes, it still feels like the Robert Pattinson like movie because one, it's set in that world, right? And two, because ultimately that's where a lot of its theme is getting itself from. Like if we had gotten a fucking Scarecrow, TV show based off of the Christopher Nolan, verse or something like that, that could have worked. That would be cool, right? Or even if we had, the Falcons or the Maroni, like either of those guys, like with their own TV show, it would have been cool. Like it would have worked.
Yeah, I even think that the Christopher Nolan series deserved a fourth movie. And I think the third movie should have been the Bane situation. He then releases the prisoners and the city sectioned off with crime bosses controlling each corner and Batman having to like Arkham City, that whole entire knockout of each of the bosses. That should have been the third movie. And then him dealing with Bane in the last film with Ra's al Ghul would have been awesome, dude.
Oh, dude, a Ra's would have been fucking amazing.
Fantastic if he came back in the end, right?
Yeah.
That would have been, but I mean, Talia, she was all right too. Like Talia is always this weird, obscure character as a villain because
Yeah.
you know that she's evil, but inherently, like she just wants to like play with Batman's popsicle meat popsicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's kind of weird how it all comes together. But yeah, Ra's al Ghul is probably the better villain, and they did really good with him in the first movie or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're pretty
Yes.
solid
Yes.
with him in the first movie. But yeah, the Penguin series, it's got 8 episodes, and you're into the first one. What are you hoping that you get out of it? What's like the most Batman thing that could happen that you would be like, bet this is the coolest fucking show ever?
Dude, honestly, I don't know.
Like at all? You don't have any idea? Like it don't. There's nothing that tickles your fancy. Like maybe a Selena Kyle, maybe a Mr. Calendar or Frost or what's that dude's name? The one that killed Victor Freeze. Like anything?
Because like, I think in the show that we have now, I think Victor Zsasz is in it as well.
Oh, okay. Victor Zsasz,
Yeah.
you know, good henchman.
Yeah, I think he's in it.
It's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
And seeing more of that would be fucking sick.
Dope. Okay, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna take that away from you. That's pretty good. Well, that's even crazier because that kid, his name is Victor Aguilar, and it looks like he's the only Victor character here right now. Do you think there's a possibility he may be Victor's ass?
No. No, that kid is gonna be like somebody like very, very important, very,
You feel it?
very serious to whatchamacallit, to the Penguin.
Okay, so he's gonna be a closer person with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dope. Well, cool, man. I got to get behind it, man. It seems like a good show. I mean, off the first episode, you're already giving it high marks. Better than what I've heard with like the current situation with like Agatha. Agatha, I heard's okay, but again, target audience, like,
Yeah.
best excuse. Best excuse is probably we're not the target audience. Let me ask you something. Okay, you made a really solid point about the state, like in our situation when it comes to like comic books and shit. We got like 20 years of reading comic books. I don't know what like could dignify us as professional comic book people or whatever the fuck if we're not making them and just reading them or whatever. But between both of us, we have a vast amount of knowledge in history and at least in some type of structure as to what makes a good story or a good hero or whatever and whatnot. What is it? How do you feel about the Agatha series? Like, did it at all in any possible way like grab your attention to where you were like, oh man, like I'm really gonna sit down and watch this soon? Or like when you heard about it when it was coming, like I want to know like I don't want to do a deep dive, but I do want to get an understanding of like, you know, we may not be the target audience for that show, but we're definitely the audience for comic books. And this is something right out of the comic books. Agatha, I think, you know, me and you will argue with 80% of the people that like a lot of normies would not give a fuck about Agatha in the comic books.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know who the fuck Agatha Harkness was. Right?
So like, what's the hype of this thing, and how do you feel about it? Like as an actual comic book reader going to the digital world and all this stuff, how do you feel about them doing Agatha as a show?
Honestly, I think they just need more pieces to play with at the moment. And the reason that I think that is because like this is like one of those times that I feel like they've shot themselves in their foot and they're still doing it, because it's one of those things where like you had a lot of other IPs that didn't do well, so you're rolling them into different ones, kind of very Heroes for Hire, very Young Avengers esque,
Yeah.
and like you're already setting up other teams, right? So you're already trying to set up your new Avengers. You've just finished releasing or debuting your Thunderbolts, you know, and then you've got, like I said, you know, like fucking X-Force or whatever that may or may not happen, and
X-Force.
you know, like the Fantastic Four are going to come, the mutants are very much on their way, and so I think there's a weird, like like void that they're trying to, like, I guess, like hit on, because not just that, dude, but like, you know, think of from like the magical realm, like Doctor Strange. We haven't heard a fucking peep about that since Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah. True. 100% true. 100% true. And the thing is like, if you go back to that, like he was dealing with Wanda in that situation, like to top it off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So even with that, like, I think at that moment in comic book film history, they really didn't have like a pathway for the Widow character or the Wanda character, Maximoff. I think that because they don't have mutants, so there's really not much they could do, and they were still kind of up in the air and all this other stuff. But like, the magic world in the Marvel universe is still something that's very like, I never thought the magic world was super hype in the Marvel. In DC, yes. Like magic in DC is like, whoa, fuck, it's super entertaining. Like you can look at any character in the DC universe when it comes to magic, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange though is the only dude that we care about. I mean, there's what Papa Voodoo, or what's his name? Dr. Voodoo.
Yeah.
And then there's Wong, but Wong was always Doctor Strange's assistant, like his butler, which is like the, I don't know, Green Hornet and Bruce Lee kind of shit.
Yeah, and like if we really want to, like, I guess, get down to like the brass tacks of it, you know, like, you know, you could consider like magic, you know, even in like Asgard, you know, like with what he does, and you know, like Loki, and you know, like his abilities, and then you know, you have like literally anything from the Asgardian space or like realm, and you know, but at the same time, like you also have like Mephisto, the Hell Lords, you have you know, Cthulhu, you have Sidorak and stuff like that. All of them are magical based entities and stuff like that. You know, Mephisto fucking just waiting for that to fucking come. Even
fucking Dormammu and all that shit too, man.
Yeah, yeah. You know, so like it's one of those things where like the prominence of magic in Marvel is very, very much like, it's may not be in the absolute forefront, because I'd have to say it's probably like, you know, science and
Magic?
like mutant, science and like mutant abilities in my, and like but like if you get to like who is it, like Jonathan Hickman's run on the Ultimates right now, like, I mean, that's literally all right now, like, I mean, that's top tier shit that's going on right now. I fucking love,
you're talking about
what's
like,
going on.
What's his name? The Thinker and Iron Man and Spider-Man, but Tony Stark is dead.
The Maker, and how Reed Richards is the new
Doctor Doom.
How Reed Richards is a new Doctor Doom, and you know, just shit like that. And you know, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, dude, you know, like it's like, for one, Jonathan Hickman always hits, dude. Like that guy can do no wrong. Like that guy could literally put fart on a page and I'd be like, peak, you know.
Peak. That's pretty funny.
Know, but you know, that's also like what I mean, dude. Like you need good storytellers.
Yeah.
And ultimately that's what's been lacking from a lot of spaces in all forms of medium, you know, is is you have no good storytellers anymore.
Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, speaking of like lackluster storytelling, uh, one of the forefront storytellers that does not do well is Sony, right? And we know that Sony is coming up with a new Venom 3 film that's going to be coming out, and they're introducing a character that I was dreading for them not to. I didn't want them to use him.
Like when I heard that he was coming, I was just like, "You're fucking high." Yeah. And then like they debuted him in the second trailer, and I was like, I cannot fucking believe this. But all right.
Yeah, and if you guys aren't familiar with who we're talking about or don't get the hints, we're talking about Null, of course. He is going to be in Venom 3. The King in Black is probably the most interesting story in the last like 5 years that Marvel has done. I think it was very rushed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of feel like they did good and bad with the Null story. I think he's a phenomenal character, but I feel like them having him come to Earth and do all that stuff and do it real fast and then lose to Earth, I kind of feel like that was like stupid. But having like the Eddie Brock and his son needing to take over the Null Venom symbiote world, and then Eddie Brock becoming like this god, Midas or whatever the fuck his whole thing is, where he's like 5 versions of himself because they time travel. And the thing about the symbiote story is I feel like the symbiote idea is going to be too difficult to understand for the normal comic book watcher. That was the same problem that I thought was with Kang. And when they did the Quantumania film, like Kang himself as a villain was okay. And I think they did him good. Even him getting tanked by a bunch of ants, like you would be more upset with the way he gets tanked in the comic books and in the cartoons. Like it was just the same as him getting tanked by a bunch of like bull-sized ants. But the problem with the Kang movie was how corny it looked when you had all the Kangs of the council all together with the 3 Kangs that were the things. They look stupid as fuck, man. That was like those old movies where they like clone a bunch of characters in Photoshop and they have them all walk. It just looked bad. It looked bad, like Spy Kids bad. Like that's the easiest way to say it, dude.
Honestly, like I was still like really ready for the Kang stories to come. Those were going to be for me like, you know what, dude, like even in
keep going, I'm gonna grab my water.
Yeah, like even in our realm, you know, of comic books, like Kang is still not a prominent character at the moment. And you know, like giving him a movie already? Yeah, well, giving him more like FaceTime and stuff like that, and like pretty much any way, like kind of was kind of nice, dude. I really liked it, and like I was like, you know, all right, man, like let's fucking get it, you know. And you know, I mean, we'll see what happens, but still, you know, like.
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say the Kang story is pretty much done because of the problems, right? Yeah, so there's not really like we'll see what happens with it. It's pretty much dead in the water, man. It's 100% dead in the water. But it had its time. Like there was this me myself. I you remember, dude? I was not for it. Like the whole like when they introduced Kang as like the major villain, I was like, bro, why are you gonna do Kang before you do Doom? You know what I mean? Like Doom deserves. Like Doom deserved to be there like during the Black Panther 2 film. Like even in the aspect of having it to where like I guess you could have given him some nod during like the Thanos thing. That would have been nice too.
Mm-hmm.
But like Doom is like one of the greatest villains in comic book history, in my opinion. Like you can make a whole saga about Doom, but they're gonna save him for Secret Wars. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Honestly, well, like since who was it? I mean, Fantastic Four is coming relatively like quickly. Mm-hmm. You know, like at least we know he's gonna make some sort of appearance there. You know, like it may not. Like I honestly think it's gonna be like a Thanos cameo sort of thing with that, but nonetheless, dude, like I'm still kind of like, all right, man, like let's see what this let's see where this goes. Let's see what you guys got. Because yeah, like you said, he's big time, like when it comes to like when it comes to when it comes to talk to comic books, and like especially when it comes to like Marvel as of late, anything with this dude, anything. The moment that he shows, boom,
Well,
show stealer.
Taking it into consideration, right? How popular Loki is, right? Like, and how strong he's become with the whole like Loki series, being the god of whatever the fuck, the seed of time or whatever the fuck people are all excited about that they didn't even read in the comics. Like in that part of the comic books, he's having to fist fight a Doctor Doom that's like overpowered as fuck. Like that's the guy that's fighting Loki when he's the Avenger Prime or whatever the fuck. I don't know if you remember that in the comics.
Yeah.
Like he's literally fighting a fucking version of Doctor Doom that's like he's going through like all the fucking universes, like getting all the fucking world breakers and all these weird ass characters and risque characters to fight Loki, who's the Avenger Prime, who ends up being like the greatest fan of the Avengers and the worst villain. Or I don't understand Loki. Like I don't get his character at all in the Marvel comic books. He's just a silly dude that does magic and then all of a sudden becomes a hero of some shit for no fucking reason. But Doctor Doom is in the same factor. One moment you have it's like it's just like Secret Wars. Like when everyone else was out there trying to fist fight the Destiny, Doctor Doom was like, yo, well, I got a plan. You know what I mean? I'm going to go make my own world. And I guess I'm going to have to save you idiots too, or whatever. That's the way Doctor Doom is. You know what I mean? And then at the very end, when no one figured it out and he did, Reed Richards comes in and it's just that he's like, a little bit more not psychopathic.
Yeah.
So at least he can make a more normal world to live in rather than Doctor Doom, who's like sociopathic and like, real Jake Polish of himself or whatever. He's just the worst candidate, but he's the one that had the right plan. And and Reed Richards took all the fucking credit for saving the universe in the end when Doctor Doom literally saved everyone. He just wanted to make it all about him. You know what I mean? And I get it. He wanted some credit, I guess, as God or whatever. But like,
hey man, I'm just saying, dude, even fucking, because I actually just reread Secret Wars not too long ago. Mm-hmm. Like even fucking Doctor Doom was like, yeah, you could have fucking done it better. And he's like, he admits it.
Right. He's like, I get you. I know what you do good. It's like, but me, bro, but me.
And so like literally, and so he was like, well, since you guys are in agreement, boom. And he's like, wait, no, I was just kidding, JK.
And then, like, of course, like when the world is rewritten, he made fucking Doctor Doom pretty again or whatever. Like,
he's like, I'll throw you a bone, dude.
Yeah, here you go, bro. Like, here's your shit. Here's your fucking flowers or whatever. Super wild shit, man. So like we have, of course, talking about all this stuff. Venom, the King in Black, the King in Black story. I'll tell everybody, like, that's Brian's favorite comic, like in the last like several years. So like. Brian himself, I've told him like this is your Secret Wars, your World War Hulk. This is and then Triggers is Secret Wars. So that's coming up. So like
that's gonna be our Love and Thunder or whatever.
I haven't had the opportunity to ask Brian about it, but like Triggs, what do you think the introduction of Null is going to do to the Sony universe? Because we know that there's like a new merger, there's a new bill that they're passing with Spider-Man and introducing Venom. We talked about this a long fucking time ago. I told you they were going to do this, where like when they did the contract for Tom Holland, eventually they were going to need to do it for Tom Hardy because they're going to want Venom in that universe. I never thought in my entire life it was going to be because of Null. I never thought that was going to be in the movies, because it's like you're going to bring in, again, the biggest problem with Marvel is you can't buy bread without fucking the world ending the next week. I don't know how normal people survive in that universe. Everybody's just offing themselves, just self-deleting each other because they don't know what else to do. The King in Black series is another Thanos event. It's another world cosmic ending kind of situation. And dude, that's because it's on a casual with fucking Century being introduced in a chilled out movie who has literally the embodiment of darkness in his body as the void that can wipe out the entire universe in multis. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why they're introducing so many heavy hitters in the overarching cosmic destroy the multiverse landscape, and then being like, yo, you know, it'd be cool some incursions. And it's like, bro, slow down, like chill the fuck out. Like, I'm gonna off myself. I got no shield. I got no
dude.
Honestly,
just because you mentioned that, I could see an incursion event happening where they're like, okay, well, since we brought you back to your universe at the end of No Way Home, hey, by the way, you're back in 616 because an incursion event happened, and you're here now.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I could literally just see them being like, oh, well, they teleported him to his apartment, but it's still in the 616 because the symbiote just is a multiversal character. You know, they sit outside of their dark side of the Marvel universe. You know, they just sit outside the multiverse for no reason.
Biggie, no one gives a fuck about the Joker, dude.
Yeah, dude, and don't even say you have IMAX tickets. You better watch that shit in black and white. It's gonna suck.
Dude, fucking.
Good to see you, Biggie, dude. Vince Weaver says Loki versus Thanos versus Ultron versus Doctor Doom versus King in Black. Who would win? Ultron, man. Not even fucking around, dude.
Dude, King in Black?
Yeah, King in Black or Ultron, dude. Like, Doctor Doom is a G, but like in a fist fight, like without any, if it's no fucking prep time, you know, there's no Batman prep time, Doctor Doom gets jacked the first 5 minutes. Thanos already cleared Loki. He already fucking thought choked him, you know, choke me daddy, and he went a little too hard. So Thanos is a G. But then again, it's like, okay, I mean, fuck, that's a good question. Comic book knowledge, man. Trigger, my man, my myth, my legend. Thanos versus Null. Who wins in a fist fight?
In a fist fight?
Yeah, like a straight up, like, yo, you're at the park, they're playing basketball, Null's dunking, and he fucking scruffs Thanos, and now they're in a fist fight. They're in the park. Like, who gets it, man? That's a hard one, though.
Honestly, I still have to say no.
No, right?
Yeah,
he fucking
honestly, like, only because like base Null has still better feats, is still better feats than fucking than Thanos did.
Yeah. He fucking
like that motherfucker got his head cut off by Gamora, dude. And you know what it took to take down Null? Captain fucking Universe.
Yeah, it's a Captain Universe. That's wild, man. Took the entire universe to take his ass out. You know what I mean? And it took a whole ass introduction of Eddie Brock's kid for no reason. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
and then like, and now like the whole Carnage shit is happening right now, and like, I kind of just want it to be over so I can just read all of it.
You know what's really sad, and I'm gonna put this out there. Can you imagine? They're gonna introduce Null, the King in Black, and they didn't even get Carnage right.
Dude,
do you know what I mean? Like, and you got a lot of reference for Carnage to be like, hey guys, here's your material, make this character life. Like, Null is even less reference material because he's only been talked about a handful of times in the last couple of years, dude. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. And then for it to be Norman Reedus, that's cool, but like, god damn it, dude. Like, I think it's just gonna be a waste of another character, man. I think it's gonna be a waste.
Wait, Norman Reedus is
Null, dude.
Oh my god!
You didn't know that? Oh no, dude! Just killing your Marvel wiener right now, dude.
Dude, speaking of Norman Reedus, can we just get to the fucking ballerina? Jesus.
Oh man, are you in the John Wick
for
film,
it?
Right?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Bro, I saw the trailer this week and I was really impressed, dude.
Dude, hype. Hype, dude. Hype.
Did you get to watch
Peak cinema, dude?
The Continental, the series, right? Was that pretty good?
Yeah, it follows a lot of the same aspects in the fact that the choreography is very, very similar.
Okay.
You know, like there's a lot of gun fu, you know, like a lot of weapon manipulation
Yeah.
to like, like a lot of like modernized like weapon manipulation that like you would see in like high like highly specialized training, and it's kind of like oh shit, what's going on, man?
Alfredo Wigglesworth.
uh but yeah, dude, I really really see
Bro.
Anna de Armas is like a low-key action star because like she had her one action moment in the last James Bond movie.
Okay.
And dude, she fucking smashes it out of the park.
I mean, I'm enjoying her in every film she comes out in, man. I mean, being on Blade Runner, The Gray Man, I think she did an amazing job in The Gray Man too.
Yeah, I mean, and she was also in The Gray Man and fucking nails it yet again.
I think that was an underrated movie. I really like it.
Yeah. Dude, I've seen The Gray Man probably like 3 or 4 times already. Like it's such a fucking good game, or such a good movie. But like I said, like with Ana de Armas being in Ballerina, I love that they give you the John Wick, like a portion of that John Wick conversation. That way they like, like this is definitely John Wick verse, because like in Continental, like you get to see the Mustang, like the gray Mustang, the Mach 1. But at the same time, like it was still very, very removed from the John Wick universe because like you would want to see more hints to like to things that are like had already been somewhat established, or to give light to other things that had been established.
Okay.
Or hadn't been established. Like I would have loved to have seen all 12 seats on the high table be mentioned, or give name to all 12 seats. Like what criminal organizations hold the 12 seats on the high table? Because you only have like I think you only have like 5 or 6 of them, like in like that are known for sure. Like you have
because all of them are all kind of like whisked away.
Well, yeah, so you have, from what I can put together, right? This is me like kind of just deep diving in like what I know of like the criminal element. You probably have, all right. So you have Yakuza, you have Triad, you have Bratva, Cosa Nostra, the Camorra. I think there's a like Nigerian or a Nigerian like crime syndicate that's also a part of it. There's probably an Irish mob in there, probably, and there has to be some sort of Mexican element. So like you're well, no Mexican element. So you're probably looking at like a Colombian or Sinaloan cartel, and probably even both, and then obviously something from the Middle East. So some sort of like terrorist, or maybe even like a Saudi family.
Yeah, that's what something high end, rich.
Yeah. So like I said, like all of that, it would have just been nice to have given the name to like, okay, this is like, these are the 12 seats. These are the organizations that hold like power in the 12 seats. Oh, and then you have some French one, the fucking Bill Skarsgård, whatever organization that he was a part of, like they also hold a seat.
Yeah. So, and the same thing with that girl, the ballerina chick, the place where she was at, the ballet.
Yeah, but that's so like it's like a Romani gypsy or some shit like that, but it's Russian, and so that's why I still think like Bratva.
But like throwing this out there, isn't this just Black Widow with extra steps, but like done correctly?
Done like yes, but done in the Ruska Roma. Anyway,
there you go.
Yes, but not so fantastical.
Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say like the way that they introduced all the whole ballerina and all that stuff, like it was very much the Red Room, very much like the whole like literally the Black Widow movie without all the Marvel bullshit. So yeah, it was one of those things like I'm very impressed with the way that the cinematography looks and the way the production looks. I'm really
Mhm.
excited for, and then of course like John Wick, you know, it's never something that Keanu Reeves like takes lightly. He wants it to be the most like martial arts, like stunt work thing on the planet. So like all the stuff that was in the trailer looks phenomenal. It looks so damn cool. So I'm super
Mhm.
excited to see the ballerina movie. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be fantastic. Um, yeah, let me see the date when it comes out, just to let people know. I don't know how to spell ballerina. 2005 film. Let me see release.
2020.
Yeah, let me see release date. June 6, 2025. No, no, that's a Netflix series. Cunt. The hell? Uh, I'm gonna go real dumb with this shit. I never do well with this. Ballerina. Is it gonna? It's not gonna be a fucking a
Yeah,
Netflix. Not a Netflix. It's a movie, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was originally going to be a TV show, but they moved it into a movie. Yeah, June 6th, 2025. Um, um, yeah,
Yeah, I can't find the fucking release date. It says
yeah,
so the
June 6th,
ballerina release
2025.
date for the one that was supposed to be which one?
June 6th,
June
2025.
6th. Okay, so it's the same one because it's here, but it was for the series. But I guess it's gonna be a movie, which is great. I'm fucking super excited for that. Um, I wanted to ask you something about the Secret War stuff before we start to kind of like get close to the end, and we're gonna probably end around 9:30. Um, what do you think is gonna be the overarching story? Okay, so the what's going around Hollywood right now, the rumor is we're gonna get the Null character to be in the Venom story, right? Like we're getting it as a very introductive character. It's going to be towards the ending of the film, or even the factor that he's like sending minions to Earth and he's not really going to pop in until the very end, which is the whole like to court Earth is to court death or whatever the
Yeah,
Thanos thing and the Avengers thing. Um, but the rumor is the next Spider-Man film is going to be the King in Black, Spider-Man King in Black, and then that's going to introduce Tom Hardy to the Spider-Man universe. We're probably going to end up getting a black suit Spider-Man, Venom symbiote Spider-Man, which is the thing that all the normies are going crazy for because I think it's necessity for them as a milestone. But like, I don't know. Like, there's no. I'm kind of on the edge about this because there's no real dichotomy between Eddie Brock and this Tom Holland or this Spider-Man character in the overarching story of to them introducing Null, them talking about or them introducing the Century, who plays a huge factor in the Spider in the Null Black story because of what he did to Carnage and all that stuff. Like, do you really think they're going to do the rip the Century in half kind of thing?
no,
They're barely
no,
introducing him, right?
yeah.
So, like, okay,
That would be like that, like him ripping, like the Century ripping it, like ripping in half Ares during Siege.
during Siege. Okay, so check this out. So, were you familiar with the Thunderbolts and all that stuff that they just dropped, like all that whole stuff?
Oh yeah,
So I think Triggs. I think we're gonna be getting Siege soon.
I
I
could see that.
100% think it. And the reason why is I think
Well,
the Thunderbolts.
Chris Hemsworth says that he still wanted one more, and that if they were going to do it, then they needed to make it the right story. And honestly, like just because of what we've had, you know, granted, Love and Thunder, you know, that story comes fucking forever after Siege.
Wait, well, I think 100% he's gonna be doing another Thor movie, and then he's gonna be jumping into Secret Wars. What's up, Gio? Good to see you, Giovanni. Giovanni.
Honestly, like I see a lot of these old characters jumping back into their role for secret roles. Yeah,
10 years,
like
right? 10 years?
yeah, like just to jump back into like the role again. as it is the whole Doctor Doom thing, that it's still way too early to tell. We have literally nothing but speculation. And then on top of that, like there's also like, and this is like really, really what I mean by like managing my expectations is even though it makes sense to us, it doesn't always necessarily mean we're going to get it. And I really, really think that if we did get a Siege, for me, it would be very out of nowhere because like they haven't done anything with Asgard in fucking forever since Love and Thunder.
That's absolutely correct. I 100% agree. The only thing that I would consider that they're doing a little bit more is the advancement in technology that the new Asgard has, where they're doing like the flying ships and even some of like the statues and things, even the thing that they built with all the guards around the hammer in the first place, like the architecture, like it started changing into like that Asgardian vibe. It wasn't very earthly anymore. And then of course like the teleportation and all that stuff. Like
my only thing is that like I could see that, but I could see that in a sense that right now, like we still have the whole, who is it, Hercules to deal with, because of Love and Thunder. So like there is all of that like we kind of need to see like play out, right? and I can see like if that scene were to happen, that it's Hercules dying instead of Ares.
Oh, that would suck though, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't be the first time they've killed off a character quick.
Yeah, no shit, especially with them introducing. I mean, I could see that. I mean, Hercules, I could see where Marvel could take it as like, oh, well, here we go. We have the next Thor because Chris Hemsworth's going to leave or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, like look at what they did with Civil War, right? Like Spider-Man is literally the one who kicked off Civil War. I mean, like Civil War in its brass tacks started because of Spider-Man.
Sure.
Like, dude, I mean, fucking Iron Man was so on the side of Steve until that little fucker spoke.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
And there's nothing to do with that, in the movie. So, like, yet again, managing expectations, trying to come from a cinematic standpoint, what makes sense with the pieces that they have now, what they could add that still fits in the current story as it's flowing coherently now into a story that we've already known, that we've already read and has been established and had a great impact. So like, yes, Siege could very much work. It's just going to be one of those that if they did do Siege, it would have to be like they'd need like 2 movies in between Siege.
Here we go. Watch. And that's Thunderbolts asterisk. That's going to turn into the new Dark Avengers with Sentry being teamed up with them. And then the second one is going to be Thor with Hercules, them fighting on Earth. And then him thinking, this is just speculation. I'm guessing they're going to say like, hey, you know what? Like we need to move. We can't bring Greek mythology war with Zeus and Hercules to the Earth because it's going to mess the planet up. We need to remove Asgard or do something. And they're going to fucking try to leave. And then that's when the Dark Avengers get called in as like, these people can't leave because they're jurisdictions on Earth or whatever. And while they're trying to like leave with that little gap of planet or whatever, or the Foundation, they're going to have the Sentry tear that bitch down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, it just makes sense. And then from there, you have this big ass fight with Sentry, Ares, and Thor, right? Well, Ares, Hercules, like you said, I think that's a great analogy to be like, this is going to be like the antithesis. And then from there, the Sentry is going to learn to be a better hero from Thor. And that's where we're going to get the buddy cop, Hyperion and Thor life. And then they're going to be the 2 gods in the end at Secret Wars, dude.
Boom, Hyperion confirmed.
Hyperion confirmed by the Century, baby. But you know what? You're absolutely correct. Like, they do switch characters out in that fashion. I mean, Young Avengers were never in Secret Wars. Now they are for some stupid reason.
Yeah.
But like, you could see where, like, I 100% think that we're gonna
honestly what I think could happen is because of what happened in like Love and Thunder. You know, like, let's say Hercules comes down and starts wrecking shit, right? Yeah. So the Asgardians take care of it, and then the world is like, you guys got to go. Kind of like what you guys got to go, and be like, well, fuck you. We've already been here. And we've already established ourselves. Like, we're not fucking going anywhere. Boom, siege, right? Boom, Thunderbolts, you know, / Dark Avengers. Boom, Sentry gets called in, starts smashing it up. You know, that's how Valkyrie dies, you know, or, you know, gets seriously injured. You know, you call in Thor again, he comes in, starts, you know, fighting that, and then Hercules is like, well, come run them ones, dude. And then like Sentry sees him and he's like, well, let's run ones, and boom, dead. And then boom, that's how you get the Hercules, sorry, the Ares death,
the Ares terror, right? The fucking, and you know what? You know, the decapitation or whatever. I 100% thought that when they do the Dark Avengers series and you're looking at all the teammates or rosters or whatever, it's going to be David Harbour that puts the fucking Ares costume on. David Harbour is going to be fucking Ares. What do you think? Like, come on, he's a good size too. What do you think, David Harbour, Ares? They're Ares. Like, he puts on the badass Spartan helmet, he gets a cool axe, and you can hear him being like, oi, oh, fucking, like, using a stupid Russian accent to be like, yo, this is so cool, look at me, I got an axe and shit. Like, you know that would be fuck. And then all of a sudden, like, boom, Sentry rips his fucking, or someone rips his fucking head off, dude.
Yeah, maybe. I still think that's a bit of a stretch, but
yeah, because he's nowhere as strong as Ares, dude. There's no
fuck no.
I think he just on the costume and looked pretty dope, but I other than that, like, I really think the Hercules factor plays more into it than anything, right? Yeah. But yo, I literally think that I mean, Triggs, you and I are huge fans. And we've talked about it before, but I really think there's a huge possibility we're gonna get our Hyperion, Thor, two gods face the Beyonders in the end with a clash of lightning and a fucking sound of thunder and whatnot. I really think I hope in him.
I mean, possibly. I mean, who knows what happens in between there and then.
So, Triggs, what do we got going on, man? We're gonna call it here. We're already getting close to 9:30. It's gonna be 9:20.
Yeah, guys, I've got to go. The lady's working over in Harlingen. I got to go take her food and go get her some stuff. But honestly, man, you know, just gonna finish packing up. You know, gonna house husband for a little bit, take care of dogs and shit like that. And I mean, that's what I'm gonna be doing tonight.
One last question. With everything that you talked about in the sense of assets and things like that, what's one thing that prophecy wise that you're looking forward to seeing in Secret Wars if it comes through with everything that's in there right now? What's one thing?
Incursions.
Just in general, like, just to see how everything starts like collapsing on itself and then it boom, battle world.
Yep.
Okay. For me, I think I talked about this a long time ago, but the introduction of King Thor or Thanos, King Thanos, right? Being on Battle World or being the last Thanos that's going to be like part of the cabal that's going to go against Doom, and Doom ripping his spine out of his chest.
Honestly, either that or the Barons, man.
Just in general, right? There's just something about it that there's like a lot of things that should be there. That is something that I think is man, dude. I'm really excited. Like to see Thing walking through the countryside as this giant wall character, or like him fist fighting Galactus. Like, there's a lot of big things that happen during Secret Wars that I hope that they could pull off. Triggs, anything else you got going on during the week that people could look out for, or streaming or anything like that?
Nothing yet, man. I'm gonna keep everyone posted. This upcoming Tuesday, I am moving, so probably tonight I'm actually gonna tear down my PC and my office, and then move over into Audrey's as well. See about that, and then yeah, man, what happens? Oh shoot.
Vince says, Trigger, you should bring me food. And then Jeremy says he actually saw a video on YouTube of War of the Gods, Asgard's versus Olympus. That's pretty dope. That's real God of War right there, baby.
Right.
Yeah, that's literally God of War if you break it down.
Man, just finished playing that game.
All righty, folks. I want to say thank you all for tuning in on another Sunday night here at the Average Boys Podcast. Triggs, thanks for jumping in. I know you got stuff going on, and I'm glad that you were able to make it. And yeah, Brian, we miss you, bro. Hope you're having a good day at work. Hopefully we get you next week. And yeah, you guys make sure you're keeping your nose to the ground. Be safe out there. The weather's getting nice and pretty again for the autumn Halloween time. Go enjoy yourself. If you're gonna go watch Joker Part 2, tell us how it goes, like Rob. And yeah, we appreciate every one of you. To all our extraordinary listeners, thank you guys for jumping in with us again on this Sunday night and coming in and talking nerd with us. We hope you guys had a good time with us. You guys be good, be safe, and we'll see you guys again here next Sunday, the Average Boys Podcast. Thank you all so much. Laters.
Peace.